Matthew Nordenhold here to tell you all about applied behavior analysis. Behavior, it's anything that we do, anything from fulfilling a need like eating when hungry or drinking when thirsty to minor things such as me looking at you as we speak. So what causes the behavior? A stimulus in the environment. We refer to that as the antecedent. We discover a stimulus and then we react to it, and how we react to it results in something that will either be reinforcing or punishing. And whether it's reinforcing or punishing will determine or help determine whether or not that behavior will be presented again in the future if you come across that same stimulus. Not all behavior is good. So what we want to do is eliminate problem behaviors. And we do that through analysis. We figure out what's causing that behavior. What is the stimulus? What is the situation that evokes a problem behavior in an individual? And then we also have to figure out what the consequence is. When the individual reacts to that stimulus, does their behavior present a reinforcing element, or what is the reinforcing element, I should say. So if we could figure out what the reinforcing element is, we can potentially change the behavior. Once we understand the antecedent, we can potentially modify the environment to eliminate the presentation of that antecedent. So if that antecedent is gone, then potentially the behavior could discontinue. However, if the antecedent cannot be avoided, we need to change the consequence. So the problem behavior results in something reinforcing. What we do is we teach an individual to present with a more appropriate behavior that serves the same function as the problem behavior. Therefore, we can help an individual react more appropriately to an antecedent through the presentation of an appropriate behavior that will provide that individual with a consequence that's reinforcing in the same way that the problem behavior is. For example, if a child is yelling out in class, we could teach them to raise their hand so they receive the attention by being called on with their hand raised, opposed to just yelling out answers. So we've taught them to obtain attention through responding appropriately in class. So to sum things up, when it comes to applied behavior analysis, we identify a problem behavior. We identify the environmental stimulus that causes the problem behavior. We modify the environment to eliminate that stimulus so that the problem behavior discontinues. Or we address the stimulus through teaching the individual a more appropriate behavior that will provide that individual with the same reinforcing consequence as the problem behavior. So in theory, the individual will discontinue their problem behavior by receiving reinforcement through the presentation of a replacement behavior that we consider to be more appropriate.